to show you how to make this beautiful puff stitch pattern for the Marigold sweater. It's got these like beautiful little flowers in it, and I know that it might look more complicated than it is, so we're just gonna take it slow today. I'm gonna slow it down, and I'm gonna show you how to make these beautiful little puff stitches. So of course you're gonna wanna follow the pattern. I'm making a little flat swatch today, but in the pattern you're going to be working in a round, and you'll have a particular sizing for the sleeve. So just be sure to check the pattern. But for now, I can just show you how it's done on this little flat swatch. And I've got my base row of half double crochet already set up. So we're gonna just dive on into the lace. So to begin, I'm going to chain 5, and I'm gonna skip 2 stitches and single crochet into the next, and then I'm gonna chain 3, skip 2 stitches and double crochet into the next. And then we're gonna begin our little flowers. So I'm gonna chain 1, I'm gonna skip 2 stitches, and I'm going to make my first puff stitch. I'm gonna yarn over, pull through, and then I'm gonna do that total of 4 times. You really wanna make sure to have really nice, loose tension with this. If you have too much tension, your petals are gonna be really short. So you wanna just make sure to like keep it nice and flowy. I've come to the end of my first puff stitch, and what I'm gonna do is kind of pinch this working yarn as I pull through all of the loops. And then I'm just gonna slip stitch to close it out, just like that. Then I'm gonna chain 3, and then in the same stitch, I'm going to make another puff stitch. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and one more time makes 4. Here we got a nice little puffy, and then again, you're gonna pinch your working yarn, pull through all of the loops, and then you're just gonna slip stitch through the yarn. So here we've got 2 little puff stitches. I'm gonna chain 1, I'm gonna skip 2 half double crochets, and then double crochet into the next. And then I'm gonna chain 2, skip 2 stitches, single crochet into the next. And I'm gonna chain, oh, I'm sorry, nope. We're gonna chain 3, not 2. Chain 3, skip 2 stitches, single crochet into the next, chain 3, skip 2 stitches, and then double crochet into the next. So you've got kind of like a little V happening here. So I'm ready to make my second puff stitch. I'm gonna chain 1, yarn over, pull through the loop 1, 2, 3, and 4 times. I'm gonna hold on to my working thread, pull through all 4 loops, and then slip stitch to close it out. I'm gonna chain 3, and do the same exact thing in the same half double crochet. Perfect. Hold on to the working thread, and then pull through all the loops, and then slip stitch to complete the puff stitch. So these are the, this is gonna be the bottom row of puff stitches. We're just gonna have 2 with a chain 3 space in between. So to continue, I'm going to chain 1, I'm going to skip 2 stitches, I'm going to double crochet into the next stitch, and I'm going to chain 3, I'm going to single crochet into the 3rd stitch, so I'm going to skip 2, single crochet into the 3rd, chain 3, skip 2, and then double crochet into the next one. So we've got these little puff stitches and then little V moments that are happening. All right, we're gonna make our last little puff stitch moment. I'm gonna chain 1, I'm going to skip 2 stitches, yarn over and pull through that third. I'm going to do that 4 times. And then I'm going to pull through all the loops and slip stitch to complete it. Chain 3. And then make another puff stitch into that same space. 3 and 4. Pull through all the loops and then slip stitch to complete it. All right, so there we go. We've got our last little puff stitch. We're going to chain 1, skip 2 stitches, and then I'm going to just do a little double crochet here at the end. So this is our first little row of puff stitches. Pretty doable, right? Okay, so to begin the next row, I'm going to chain 2 for my turning chain, and then I'm going to chain 3 and single crochet on top of the chain 3. I'm going to chain 3 again, and I'm going to double crochet on top of the double crochet. And here's where it starts to get tricky. We're going to take it slow. I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to begin a puff stitch into that chain 1. So I'm just going to loosen my hook about 1/2 inch. I'm going to yarn over, go back into that chain 1, and pull through, yarn over, back into the chain, pull through. We're going to do this 4 times total. There we go. And then we're going to yarn over and we're going to skip to this middle chain on the next chain 3. So it'll be the second chain. I'm going to put our hooks through there, yarn over and pull through. And this is another puff stitch. So again, we want to make sure that our tension is nice and loose so that we have nice big petals. 4. All right. And then once you've done 4 rounds of that, you're going to yarn over again, and then we're going to skip to this next chain 3 space. So we're going to go into the second stitch on the chain 3 space. We're going to pull through there again, nice loose tension. Okay, so now we've got 3 different puff stitches on our hook at the same time. Again, you want to pinch this working thread just to make sure it doesn't get lost. You're going to pull through all of the loops, and then you're going to slip stitch into that working thread to close it out, just like that. So all 3 of these petals were created in one fell swoop. So from here, we're going to loosen up the loop that we've got on our hook, because that's going to become our next puff stitch. We're going to yarn over and we're going to go into the center of the flower and pull through. I'm going to do this 3 more times. 2, 3, 4. So we've got another little puff stitch on our hooks there. We're going to pinch our working thread, pull through all of the loops, and then slip stitch to close it out. So here we go. We've got 4 puff stitches in this little space. I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to double crochet on top of the double crochet. So here we go. That's how it's looking so far. We're going to continue on, chain 3, and then single crochet into the chain 3 on top of the previous puff stitches. I'm going to chain 3 and then double crochet on top of the double crochet. And then again, we're just going to make another one of these little clusters of 4. So we're going to chain 1, loosen our hooks to about 1/2 inch, yarn over, and go through that first chain. We do that 4 times total. Here we go. And then we're going to yarn over again, skip into this next chain 3 space, into that second chain. I'm going to pull through that second chain once, twice, 3 times and 4 times. We got 2 little puffies there. Gonna yarn over, skip to the next chain 3 space. Gonna go to that second chain in there to keep everything nice and centered. And pull up, do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so we've got 3 puff stitches on our hook at the same time, and now we're going to pull our working yarn through all of them. I'm going to make sure to pinch this so it doesn't get lost. Pull through all the loops, and then just slip stitch to close them all out. So we've got our 3, and then from here we're going to loosen the loop on our hook. We're going to yarn over and go through the center of that flower 4 times, 2, 3, and 4. Pinch your working thread, pull through, and slip stitch to close it out. So here we go. We're just going to chain 1 and double crochet into the double crochet to kind of just get that in there. All right, gonna keep going. Chain 3, single crochet into that chain 3 space, chain 3 again, double crochet into the double crochet, and then we're going to chain 1, loosen the loop on our hook, yarn over, go through that chain 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 times, and then we're going to skip into this next chain 3 space, yarn over, go through the second loop, pull up, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Here we go. Gonna yarn over, I'm gonna skip over to that next chain 3 space, into the second chain, pull up, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're gonna pinch our working yarn, pull through all the loops, and then slip stitch to complete that. Then from here, we're gonna loosen the loop on our hook, yarn over, go through the center of the flower 4 times, pinch the yarn, and slip stitch to complete that puff stitch. And then we're just going to chain 1 and double crochet into this turning chain. All right, so that's our second, oh no, this is our, this is going to be our 3rd row. So we've got these beautiful little clusters of 4. Eventually there will be 6, so I'm going to show you how to kind of finish up these little flowers. So to turn, I'm going to chain 2. I'm going to flip my work. I'm actually going to chain 1 more. And then into the center of the flower, I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to create a puff stitch. 2, 3, and 4. Gonna pinch the working thread, pull through all 3, and then slip stitch to close it out. I'm gonna chain 3. Gonna go back into the center, pull up 1, 2, 3, and 4. Pinch the working thread, pull through all the loops, and then slip stitch to close that out. I'm going to chain 1 and then double crochet on top of the double crochet. So here is our first completed little flower. We've got 6 puff stitches, looking beautiful. Try to make sure to keep them even. It might take a few rounds of practice to make sure that all the loops are looking pretty even, but you'll definitely get it. We're going to chain 3 from here. We're going to single crochet on top of our single crochet, chain 3, and then double crochet on top of the double crochet. And then we're going to chain 1. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to do 1 puff stitch into the center of the flower, 2, 3, 4, pinch our working thread, pull through all of the loops, and then slip stitch to close it out. Then we're going to chain 3, and again, another puff stitch into the center of the flower, 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to pinch our working thread, pull through the loops, and slip stitch to close it out. Going to chain 1, and then double crochet on top of the double crochet. Here's our second completed flower, looking gorgeous. Moving right along, we're going to chain 3, single crochet on top of the single crochet, chain 3, double crochet on top of the double crochet, and then we're going to chain 1, yarn over, and we're going to just start making our last round of puffies. Here's 1, yarn over, pull through all of the loops, slip stitch to close it out, chain 3, and then going to make our final puff stitch into the center of this flower, pinch the working thread, pull through the loops, and then slip stitch to close it out. Chain 1, double crochet into the double crochet, and then I'm just going to chain 3, single crochet into the single crochet, chain 3, and then double crochet into the chain 2 space. All right, so here we are. We've done a full row of a full flower. So I hope that this video was helpful to you guys. Please let me know if you have questions in the comments below. I'm always here to help and explain anything more in detail. In the pattern, there will be very detailed written instructions with pictures. And then of course, this is always a good visual reference to come back to if you need it. But I believe in you guys. This is a really fun meditative stitch once you kind of get into the flow of it. So I'm excited to see what you make, and happy stitching, everybody.